Hey, look, this one's open. Let's go look at it.
The door over there was just open, like something. Yeah, the hinge was just up and down.
Maybe it's haunted.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are on board the Washington State Ferry today, and we're headed for Port Townsend, where we're going to visit Fort Worden State Park. We've arrived at Fort Worden State Park here in Washington State, up on the Kitsap Peninsula, just across Puget Sound from Seattle. We have this beautiful backdrop behind us here, and there's all sorts of ancient buildings that date way back. Some of them are brick, some of them are wood, but they're all historic, and we're going to walk around and show you some of these. Every good military base needs a theater, and this one is no exception. So we're standing in front of the Joseph Wheeler Theater here at Fort Worden State Park. Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Every historic military base needs a good officer's row, and look what we just found.
came around the corner and we saw this interesting building. Let's go see what it is. Well, this is Alexander's Castle. That's the name of it. It's a guest cabin that you can actually stay in and rent. This is a historic photo taken during World War II. The arrow is pointing where the sign is now, and you've seen all the buildings. About 90 of the estimated 400 buildings are still standing today. This place was pretty big.
Decades ago, the U.S. military built a series of gun batteries around the Puget Sound region in order to protect the Strait of Juan de Fuca from enemy ships during wartime. Right here behind these doors, they kept massive artillery shells, and what they would do is they would take the shells out and haul them upstairs and then load them in these giant guns. Right up here behind me was where the gun used to be. Come on up and check it out. This is the foundation where the gun used to be mounted. And look at the size of these bolts. I mean, that thing is big, but they cut them off when they took the guns out for safety, of course. Now down here we have electrical conduits. So the guns may have had motors on them where they could aim them up and down and side to side. And they may have actually had an electric trigger, and so the wires would have come up through these conduits right here. Even though there isn't much remaining today except the concrete superstructures, back then they had all kinds of interesting systems. Like, check out this trench right here. This was an electrical conduit, and right in here they would have had lights so the servicemen could see what they were doing at night. Now look over here, we have a pipe that comes out of the wall. Apparently there was some kind of water, and it went right down here and dropped into that drain and then went on out. Out here in the Puget Sound area, the winds can pick up and be pretty strong at times, so they built these hooks in here, which they could use to stabilize the gun mechanism. There's one here and there's two back over there. These are made of solid cast iron, and look how big that is. So look at this scene behind me here. You might be thinking to yourself, well, I can't see out there. How am I supposed to hit a ship? Well, back in the day we didn't have all these weeds and trees and everything, and it was all cleared out, and they had a perfect view of the sound.
This is an example of a much larger gun battery.
Here's a great picture of what the battery looked like back in the old days. This gun is much larger than the other one. Take a look at that bolt down there.
Now this gun battery has a view you can see.
Here's another interesting feature that was actually cast into the concrete. Now you might look at this and wonder, why did they do that? Well, it certainly wasn't for art. The reason was, if they ever needed to swing that gun around in a wide arc, that gun would come all the way out here and go into this cavity right here and not hit the wall. Right here in the middle of the gun battery, up the flight of stairs, is this interesting pipe right here, which is filled with concrete, and then there are two concrete depressions there that had electrical equipment in them. If anybody knows what these are, please let us know. Even though our videos are usually about going places and seeing interesting things, we do have a touch of urban explorer in our blood, so we love it when we find historical artifacts that are intact. Check this out.
Hey look, this water hydrant's partially intact.
Hey, look, this one's open. Let's go look at it. Come on.
Maybe it's haunted.
But there's an appeal about.
We're at the Allenson Randall Gunnery. That seems to be a mouthful for me, but we found a door that's open. Let's go down and look at it. Some of the paper is peeling. You see that?
This room has a beautiful reverberation.
Yes, it does. It's open.
Looks like a closet.
Where they used to bring up the ammo from underneath. Hey, there's stairs over here. Really dark. Oh, some stuff has fallen down. Gotta be careful. Oh, it's all the way underneath. It keeps going. Can you get any of this? Left. Watch the water in the door. Goes that way. And then I'm in the way.
Electrical box.
That's the water.
We're now at the top of the hill, and up here they have different kinds of gun batteries than what we saw down below. This machine right here is a really interesting device, which is an elevator, and they would take the shells out of the storerooms below, and if they needed them, they would cart them down the hall, put them on a rack, and then lift them up with an elevator, and then they would pop out here, and the guys would grab them off and take them on another cart and take them over to the guns.
We found another set of stairs. Let's go check it out.
This is the bottom side of the elevator that we just looked at. We're down underneath right now, and you can see the bolts where they mounted it. And right down there was where the actual mechanism was. And up here is the electrical box that serviced it. Let's come over here and take a look. Up above, you can see the works. Hopefully you can see the works. There are gears and paddles and things like that.
Whoa. Check this out.
These look like adobe blocks that have been busted out.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a door that's been completely eaten up by rust.
When visiting the gun batteries, be sure to wear good walking shoes, bring some water, preferably a hat, and watch out when you're walking around for all of these bolts and rebar that stick up here and there. Sometimes they're sticking out of the side of the wall, sometimes it's on the ground, so you really got to watch out.
Check out these gigantic anchor rings here.
Hey look, we found a little door. I wonder what's in there.
It goes way back in there. And it looks like there's a bunch of debris and maybe a piece of wood.
Right over here on top of that tunnel, there's some kind of structure. Let's go find out what it is. So it turns out that this thing was a lookout. They had scouts here watching, and they would look for ships coming in, and they could identify them with their telescopes and relay by radio or telephone if action needed to be taken. But if you look over there, you'll see that the trees have grown up in the years since the base was closed. This used to be a wide open vista.
We've been all the way around this lookout, and we have not been able to find an opening to get in. Let's go down and see if we can find another way. Maybe it's on the side of the mountain or something. Well, it's on top of the tunnel, so maybe the opening or the doorway to get in is in the tunnel. Let's find out. Yeah, it looks like a doorway or some kind here. Oh, it does. Hey, there's stairs. Wow, there's a lot of stairs. Can you see them? The little dip, broken glass. Oh, there's more.
All kinds of rooms in here.
Let's go. Into the ceiling.
Weird. Huh.
Okay, once the
Looks
door
like the ceiling
closed,
was
there's
made
a
of
step.
spaghetti. Well, this
Oh.
isn't it, but
This is a different flooring.
it sure is. What do we have over here?
Closet.
And more tunnels.
That's a huge pipe in there.
Yep. Go.
Hey.
Is that where we came from?
That was the room we came in from.
Oh, okay.
Let's check out the stairs over here.
This is half of
Well, look what we found. This, my friends, is the lookout that we couldn't find the way into.
Half of it
And
anyway.
as you can see,
There's the other half.
there's the other half. Well, how do you get there? Oh, there's
Another
a
stairs.
another stairway down there somewhere. But as you can see, at one time there was probably an amazing view out of here, and you could see the enemy coming along before they got here.
Wonder what's in here. Oh, it's a little closet. Check that out. It's got shelves on it still. That is the most intact room we've seen yet.
Look at the remnants of the ceiling, the way they used to do it in these.
There's another door. And it looks like it opens. Oh, it does. Oh my. The urban explorer inside me says we gotta do this. Do we dare?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Can you see this okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it keeps going.
Wow. This is pretty amazing.
It is.
I wonder where it comes out.
I know, but it keeps going. Oh, there's a door here.
No?
What?
Whoa.
Another tunnel. Oh, that's very cool. Keeps going. Are you getting all this?
Yep.
This is amazing. Keeps going. And we hit the end.
The end. Another door is probably welded shut. Oh, no, it's not.
It's not.
Check that out.
It's
well, that is
open.
pretty cool, huh?
That is awesome.
There are so many interesting nooks and crannies in this place, and we just keep finding them every time we come around a corner. So here's this hobbit tunnel, and I'm going to go down there and find out what's inside.
Thank you for coming on our adventure to Fort Worden State Park near Port Townsend. There's a lot here to see, and we didn't capture all of it. You gotta come check it out. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies everywhere. It is fantastic. Bring good walking shoes, possibly a hat, definitely water, and watch where you're going. Thanks for coming with us.